F.T.P. presents True Tales of the Paranormal, Chapter 2.
Greetings. It's your friendly neighborhood Jon Theory, representing Waters of the Westgate. Follow us for all your spiritual needs. Here to give you another wonderful story in collaboration with F.T.P, Finding the Paranormal. So, this story is a little different from the ones that I've told previously. It starts much earlier in my journey before I was fully convinced that spirits did indeed exist and did have control over certain elements and places within the tangible world. I knew a young woman, I won't give her name, that had recently moved into a house with her family. And things started off very subtle with her. She would call me and we would talk, and I would always hear creaks and knocking in the background. And I would ask her, hey, who's coming by? Or you guys having a party? It seems there's a lot of activity. And in hushed tones, she would convey to me that ever since they moved into the house, it seemed like there was a lot of weird things going on. It started with the creaks and the knockings and the sounds of walking on stairs where there was no one. And then there were the voices. And the voices would wail and moan, seeming to be sad about their current displacement within the spiritual world and being torn between the physical and at the same time. Of course, at this point, I'm a major skeptic, and I'm thinking that she's pranking me. And so I don't take too kindly to it and maybe give her a little bit more lip than I should have. And she expresses that everything she's telling me is true, and that it sounds like the cries of children and the moans of a mother that's lost her children coming from inside the house. She said that she would feel eyes peering at her from the darkness, and she could swear that she's seen figures move in the background of her home when she would travel. And the more and more she and I communicated, it seemed like there was a spike in activity. One day, she said that she came through the door and clear as day saw an older, pale male with stringy gray hair and a cowboy hat sitting on her couch. And when she went to address him, he vanished. And so one peculiar night, it's about 12:39 in the morning, and she and I get to talking and the phone begins to break up. There's a lot of static. And I'm calling out to her, I'm saying her name, are you okay? What's going on? Is everything fine? And then a voice returns that I haven't heard before. And he says,
I want them all out of my house.
And I asked the voice, who are you? Why are you here? Are you harming my friends? Are you harming her family? And the voice says,
I want them all out. This is my home.
And the irony is, only my friend, her sisters, and her mother live there. And so me being me, when the phone seems to disconnect, I call back and she's asking me what happened. She couldn't hear me. It was a lot of static. And I asked her, had she heard of a man, being in her home, and she made me aware of the man with the hat. And so I did some digging and research and found out that this man owned this home and had rented it to a family, a mother and some daughters. And then he became homeless, but couldn't move the renters out. And so he brutally murdered all of them. And now with my friend and her family moving in, I guess his soul was reminded that his property would always be inhabited by a few women that he didn't take kindly to. Several months later, of course, they move out of the house, and believe it or not, the house is destroyed in a freak storm set on fire by lightning. The surrounding grass and trees were also singed. And so I wonder what happened to the man that walked the halls of that house. I wonder, now that the house is destroyed, does he have a sense of peace? Or is he now terrorizing the homes of others? This has been my story. follow me, Jon Theory, at Waters of the Westgate for all of your spiritual needs. And follow Finding the Paranormal for all of your paranormal experiences. You all have a wonderful day.